Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like most women are going to be nice enough that they wouldn't actually get up and walk away or say no. They would say yes and then in the parking lot get an Uber.
Yeah. I don't know though, but like, that's terrible. But it'd be really bad if you said yes and then as soon as the kiss cam lady left, she was like, I didn't mean that. I was just sparing you the humiliation of the 300 people that have attended this sporting event seeing me turn you down. Like,
Kyle, is that right? Do you think that's worse?
I would prefer what I just suggested, honestly.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because I mean, we just watched that shit on YouTube. How many? I turned it off, but let me see how many views that has.
Just shy of 1 million.
Jesus. The name of the channel is Proposal Fail. They made the channel just for this video. Like, oh, that's rough. That's fucking rough. That's a life-changing kind of moment. That's the kind of like moment that movies are made about. So I guess it makes sense he made the documentary.
It's great that the reason she said no is his dick was too small.
It's got to be more than that. Like if he was the perfect guy and everything, like she'd put like a sheath on that thing, right? Yeah. She'd be like, well, we'll put this mega cock over yours. You can wear a strap.
Figure it out.
Right.
Figure something
Your
out,
boner
right?
is the bone in this situation. We'll put a little.
He's asking her to marry him, and he doesn't know she's going to say no. I would say he's not in tune with her emotional needs.
Absolutely
just
right.
From that, you know what I'm saying? Like he couldn't even tell that. He's got no idea what's going on in this girl's heart.
Yeah, this guy's an emotional retard because like I've never proposed to anyone, but I know how proposals work. I know that like it's generally been discussed long before the actual proposal happens, and the actual proposal, the getting down on one knee and offering a ring there's no question in your heart whether she's going to say yes or no. It's more about making it a special moment. You know, it's like
he should have slipped her a roofie first, I think is what you're saying, if this was his plan to trick her into a marriage.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Just for fun, I'll talk about my own proposal. I had proposed. We knew everything. We had a good idea on how many kids we wanted, whether she would work as an adult, whether we would leave the state or go to a sunnier climate. Like, we had all these things sort of worked out. There was no question. She used to ask me when I was going to marry her so many times, hundreds of thousands of times, that it was just kind of it wasn't like a heavy...
annoying.
Yeah, but maybe for you, but for me, she was in touch with that. It removed any doubt. It was a goof. It was fun, but it also knew that door was open. Hey, let's do this.
Did you do anything fancy or special for your proposal?
Not really. It's in hindsight, it's almost I was disappointing. Here's how it went. Yeah,
he almost said no.
Don't set the bar too high, though.
So she wouldn't live with me prior to marriage. That was like one of her things because she accurately knew that if she did, I would have drugged my feet on the proposal. You know, the whole why buy the milk when you could why buy the cow when you're getting the milk for free thing. That would have fit my mindset at the time. So she would come and visit me on weekends though. And I'm really fond of her. So when she left, I didn't like that, you know, and I think I was
sorry for interrupting.
20. I think we got engaged at 22 and married at 23.
Okay, that's prime sex hostage time for a man.
Yeah, you're right. But it wasn't just sex; it was a lot. Like I really liked having her around. I still do. And
good.
Yeah, right. So,
oh yeah.
I bet that would warm her heart if she heard that you still liked having her around.
I'm quite the charmer. So sometimes, like, she'd go home on Sunday night because she had a job, and I'd be like, "Call in sick tomorrow. Call in, just do it. Come on, one more day with you." And she had done it like 2 weeks earlier, and I was doing the same thing. Like, you don't like this job. Your job's not that important. Just ditch it. Be here on Monday. And yeah, I'm quite the charmer. So, she said no. She's like, I can't not go to work. I just called in sick like 2 Mondays ago. They're on to me. I can't call in sick tomorrow. And I said, I'll tell you what. If you call in sick tomorrow, we'll go to Jewelers Row and we'll buy an engagement ring. And she was like, I accept your terms. So that's what we did. We both took on that Monday off. We went to the Jeweler's Row. We looked at engagement rings together. We picked one out. I went by a lake near where I grew up, got on one knee, and I proposed. That's how it went down. So not that romantic, almost spontaneous and unplanned, but that's how it went down.
It's a romantic negotiation.
See, if you just masturbated, it would have never happened.
But it worked out.
Be a lesson, kids.
Martin Luther King
Always
Day was
throw
really
one out
fucked up
before
her
you make
plan.
these life-changing purchases and decisions.
But that was 23 years ago. We're good. So
My point exactly.
yeah, right. But I don't know. I just had this notion that life was better with her than without her, so I locked it in.
That's good.
Yeah.
Are you? I know Kyle's set on never getting married. Dick, are you also on the never marriage train?
I mean, I like to think I'm a pretty good negotiator, and I'm definitely older, 37. Ooh boy, I've seen all the tricks at this point. I've seen I'm not taking off work on Monday. Oh, that's fine. Okay. Well, I can keep myself busy on a Monday.
There's Chatterbait now. There wasn't Chatterbait back then.
Yeah, there's Chatterbait now. There's Twitch now.
You can be replaced by an Eastern European with loose morals.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like to make predictions like that because it's every time I hear a guy, like the harder I hear guys say they're not getting married, the more I think it's bullshit. It's like the lady doth protest too much. You know what I mean?
I think you're right. I mean, I was of the opinion even like a few years ago. I mean, I'm only 27. I was like, I'm never getting married, never, ever, ever. And then now, even getting closer to 30, I'm like, it seems like it's the kind of deal where it is what you make it. And of course, all the people who get into shitty marriages and then get out of it are preaching against it because it's like, oh, that bitch took all my money and this and that, and she was terrible when we were together, and the sex stopped and she got fat. And it's like, well, yeah, but there are a lot of happy people out there too who kind of just like spend their life together. So I would want that.
One thing,
my parents are fine. They've been married for 40 years. I think if kids were on the table, then it's a guarantee, and if not, then I wouldn't see the point of it.
Mm-hmm.
What about a mail order bride?
The kids thing is interesting to me. Well, so like Taylor's 27, right? And what's changing is people are taking longer and longer to get married, or they'll date for a longer period of time and not find marriage to be like almost a mandatory next step. They're like, yeah, we can stay together, but we don't have to get married. But what hasn't changed is when women can have babies, right? Women get less fertile around 30, and then things get tricky around 32. I want to say that is 35 the year they use for Down syndrome being a much more likely problem.
I think it's like after 30 it starts increasing a little bit, and then once you get to like 35,
Kalen show.
It's pretty big. And like after 40, like more women are having babies after 40 now than ever before.
But that requires more medical intervention and stuff. A lot of those women are probably on fertility. I when I see people, there's a lot more twins than there used to be. It seems to me, and I'm like, oh yeah, are you triplets and none of them are identical? Yeah, that's because the woman was making 8 eggs at a time, and that's how she got pregnant. So, one thing that could happen in Taylor's future is the road from like marriage to babies could be accelerated compared to mine.
Yeah.
What do you mean? The road to babies could be accelerated?
Because we got engaged at 22, and I think we had a baby at 26. There was no bio clock really ticking like there would be if you got married at 29.
Yep. So, like, if I married a girl who was only a couple years younger, I'd only have, 6 years until she was also 30.
Get a puppy, kids. Get a puppy. That bitch will be dead in 13 years, and you're free and clear. You know how much a puppy costs? Very, very little. Especially, you don't even have to feed them.
I think you do have to feed them. Yeah.
Who's going to make me? Who's going to make me? No one. There's no puppy services.
I feel like there is. Right?
No.
If I call and say, hey, my neighbor Kyle hasn't fed his dog in weeks, and now he's eating my chickens I keep in my yard. Like, they'll send somebody out.
Are you Wings of Redemption? You have chickens in your yard now?
I'm just imagining I live next to where you were.
No, the puppy will stay in a cage, all starved and malnourished.
Malnurtured.
If you don't feed a puppy, it eventually becomes food. I think that's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, get a puppy. Get a
That was God's plan.
And maybe
Whatever,
mail order
whatever they know, the ones that don't eat their food. It's great.
I like the idea of these mail order brides that I'm looking at here because then, you know, like after 3 or 4 years, when she's like got legal status, she can just you can leave her and she's happy to leave, and you just get a new one, right?
She's happy to leave with half your shit.
It's like instead of buying a car, you get a prenuptial agreement with your mail order bride, of course.
Dude, you have to put half your belongings in the trunk of that leased sedan and then send it back to the dealership. Like you might not like it as much.
No, it's like leasing a car instead of buying a car. And for some people that doesn't work for them. They want to keep a car for a long time. But with women it makes a lot of sense because their depreciating value is extreme. Much more so than a car. They depreciate like video games. All right? So you want to lease yourself maybe a nice Korean girl, then a Ukrainian, and you know you can mix and match. You don't want to be playing Gears of War 1 in 2025, do you? No. You want to play Gear 6.
Because I mean you're a man
or something.
Kyle, you're a man. You're going to be worth more
back
at
to the
50.
store for 4. That's a used game.
You're going to be worth more at 50, Kyle, than you are now. Like, and as long as you don't get fat or disgusting, your value will increase, you know? More chicks are going to be like, man, look at this sexy guy. Women tend to age more like you're like a fine whiskey, like that Grand Gala you sip. But women are more like a banana. You know?
There's that brief window when you can make banana bread out of them, but then they just get disgusting.
Then you have to chop them up and put them in the freezer. And then
Have you guys
just wait
seen
till
the
next time
thing
you need banana bread?
about depreciating women? The back and forth?
No, is it like a debate or a funny video or what?
The Wall Street guy
Yeah.
on Craigslist?
Yeah. It's a little longish, but let me read it and see how it goes. A woman asks this. I'm looking to get married to a guy who makes at least $500,000 a year. I know how that sounds, but keep in mind that $1 million a year is middle class in New York City. I don't see that I'm overreaching at all. I'm looking for marriage only, all caps. I wouldn't be searching for guys if I wasn't able to match them in looks, culture, sophistication, keeping a nice home and hearth. What am I doing wrong? And a businessman replies, I read your posting with great interest and have thought meaningfully about your dilemma. I offer the following analysis of your predicament. Firstly, I'm not wasting your time. I qualify as a guy who fits your bill. That is, I make more than $500,000 a year. That said, this is how I see it. Your offer, from the perspective of a guy like me, is plain and simple a crappy business deal. Here's why. Cutting through all the BS, you suggest a simple trade. You bring your looks to the party, and I bring my money. Fine, simple, but here's the rub. Your looks will fade, and my money will likely continue into perpetuity. In fact, it's very likely that my income increases, but it is an absolute certainty that you won't be getting any more beautiful. So in economic terms, you are a depreciating asset, and I am an earning asset. Not only are you a depreciating asset, but your depreciation accelerates. Let me explain. You're 25 now, and you'll likely stay hot for the next 5 years, but less so each year. Then the fade begins in earnest. By 35, stick a fork in you. So in Wall Street terms, we would call you a trading position, not a buy and hold. Hence the rub, marriage. It doesn't make good business sense to buy you, which is what you're asking. So I'd rather lease. In case you think I'm being cruel, I would say the following. If my money were to go away, so would you. So when your beauty fades, I need an out. It's as simple as that. So the deal I say makes sense is dating, not marriage. Separately, I was taught early in my career about efficient markets. So I wonder why a girl as articulate, classy, and spectacularly beautiful as you has been unable to find a sugar daddy. I find it hard to believe that you're as gorgeous as you say and that the $500,000 hasn't found you, if not only for a tryout. By the way, we could always find a way to make money, and then we wouldn't have this difficult conversation. With that all said, I must say you're going about it the right way. Classic pump and dump.
That's how psychopaths flirt. That was what we just watched, the mating ritual of 2 psychopaths. Hopefully they will find each other and not bother anyone else.
That's what you want.
I don't know. It was eye-opening for me. You know, it's a depreciating asset, the classic trade, how you wouldn't do that. And she's going for a pump and dump. Yeah, I don't know. It was pretty great.
Well, it's true. Like, but hopefully you'd be enough in love with the person that you wouldn't mind their looks fading a little bit. As long as they don't go bananas with it and, like, get super fat or, like, let their teeth rot.
Yeah, well, what he didn't...
cooking every night.
What he didn't accept or seem to value is that women have value outside of just their looks, right? There's a companionship, a partnership, a trust that goes there that gets more valued every year. There's that. But Kyle
There's
doesn't seem to value that.
I mean, like I said, she's got nowhere to go. She going back to the Ukraine? I don't think so.
Yeah, you can find a nice, pretty Ukrainian girl who's not going to have you need to make $500,000. She's going to be like, I would prefer if you have a house or a home of somewhere for me to stay. Yeah, the box is getting waterlogged.
How many potatoes do you own?
Yeah.
I got a 5-pound bag right here. How many kilos is this?
How many kilos?
You're gonna fit in well, Mariska.
My man, he shop at store. He do not grow his own food.
He never steal potato. Yeah, I really do like the idea of the mail order bride. I think that would be fucking hilarious.
You should do it. That's one thing that I really regret. If I have a bucket list, it's having a fake marriage for the purpose of a green card. That is right at the top of the list. I was sure I would get involved into some kind of hijinks like that when I was a kid.
Why not? Why not? What do you got to lose?
Yeah, it seems like
you can send them back in 90 days if you don't like it.
Do you feel like your mail order days have passed you by, Dick? I don't think so. I think you're in your mail order prime.
I think I got too much to lose now. I don't know if that's like
prenup.
That's a young man's.
Yeah,
that's
prenup for your
prenup.
mail order bride.
Oh, prenup in California. All right, I'll just shoot myself in the head.
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
Well, California hates men and America. If that helps you. Whenever it comes to anything politically related, you want to know where California stands? First, hate men and hate America. There you go.
Well, that's going to be a problem for you.
You're going to want to identify as a woman, and then you're going to be all clear. Preferably a black
wedding.
That's thinking in the box.
Why don't you
the box
you just
vagina?
Bounce to Utah, go start up a show in Salt Lake City.
I'll
where
see
it's
how
the
many
most
mail order
conservative
brides
state.
I can bring in Utah. Click,
there's going to be no limit.
Click.
Yeah, you just Amazon Prime those bitches, showing up every 2 days. Return the
And then
ones.
I tell them it was a shipping error. I don't know. It said don't press the button again if you already pressed it. I pressed it. I couldn't help myself.
So we've got a clip here. Apparently, Arab Andy.
Welcome to the show. This is gonna be great. It's PKA 1. Lefty's on the mic, some say he's a racist. He told me himself, let's get back to the basics. Black, Asian, or crazy gypsy. He kills them quickly, then chugs down his whiskey. Next is a man known as FPS Kyle. The stuff he says can be downright vile. Unicorns, dildos, and lots of guns. Look out for bathrooms when he has the runs. Finally, it's me, Woody's gamer tag. I'm fucking awesome, but I don't like to brag. He's a pedo, my haters will expound. Sorry, haters, the body's never found. Topics are sterling and mass genocide. The boys will share it all, and we will misguide. Our opinions are silly, our stats are invented, our stories are crazy, our thoughts are demented. Hold on tight and get yourself ready. The gang's all here, this is Painkiller already.